Well, interference into our elections in previous years was not through the technological, or to say, process, but through different very simple instruments. First, the money, which was channeled by so-called Western NGOs to Azerbaijan. Second, anti-Azerbaijani propaganda in the Western media, those whom President Trump calls fake news, like Washington Post, New York Times, and of course, French pro-governmental media, also fake news like Figaro, Le Monde. So creation a kind of an atmosphere that Azerbaijan is a dictatorship, Azerbaijan has no democratic experience, human rights are brutally violated, opposition is angels, and the government is devil. So it was very simple. At the time when we were a little bit naive and could not even imagine that those who smile into our face want to stab us in our back, we actually did not fully control the financial flows of these funds. And that was the reason why such a notorious institutions like National Democratic Institute, NDI, actually was plotting a coup d'etat here. It was detected, so we chased more than $1 million US from the bank account, which was cashed out, and then we found part of that money in the rented apartments of pro-opposition activists, together with Molotov cocktail and the instruction how to attack governmental buildings, how to attack policemen. So all that we experienced. The attempts of Orange Revolution here in 2005, inspired by US State Department, also we all remember, we never forget. And so it was very simple. Now it's more difficult to do, because first, we have full control over financial system. Second, all so-called grants which have been provided to so-called local NGOs, actually the branches of opposition, are now have to be registered. And it is very difficult to smuggle money here, but unfortunately, some Western institutions are very creative, so they find new ways how to smuggle money here through different couriers. They get this money mainly in Georgia. Saying in Georgia, I don't want to sound like it is from Georgia. No, it is from these Western non-governmental organizations which still are operational in Georgia, through Georgian banks which are controlled by foreigners, the credit cards without names, and cash money which is being brought here in order to destabilize situation. But when we trace that, when our law enforcement institutions bring those money smugglers to justice, they start to accuse us that we are doing some undemocratic things. So this is how it was in Azerbaijan. I hope it will end, because it is absolutely useless, has no sense, and everybody knows who is who, but nevertheless we are not guaranteed that one day they again will decide to bring a puppet and to put it in the presidential chair and then to rule Azerbaijan as they wanted. What President Trump started to do is very promising, but I think that he should not stop. USAID, of course, is a monster #1. is a completely corrupt structure. I already talked a little bit on that. Radio Liberty and Voice of America, very good that they already stopped, but it's not enough. You should go deeper. Human Rights Watch, Freedom House, Amnesty International, Transparency, all this infrastructure of his political enemies must be totally made dysfunctional. And again, we as a country, which faced all that smear campaigns, coordinated attack on Azerbaijan, we know very well how it works, how it functions. We know people in the embassies who are involved in illegal activity, and we are ready to provide United States Prosecutor's Office, a law enforcement agency, with all information about illegal, destructive activity of Mr. Trump's predecessors.